Let's go. Yeah.
Good morning. This is Jason Hallal. Good morning, Jason.
Good morning.
Jason, you've been serving as a Sunday school teacher for many, many years. So what do you find is the key for helping the next generation discover God in their life?
I think with any aspect of education, I think definitely heart is a huge aspect. Especially with younger kids, a smile or your energy is so important to like the classroom or your relationship with your other teachers. And so I think when, coming to Sunday school, having the energy, having the heart, or even just having a prayer beforehand is so important. And I think, of course, growing up, I had a really, really great community. I had a really great Sunday school, all the way from kindergarten with, Aunt Danielle, all the way to high school with, Uncle Joshua, not Uncle Joshua, but Reverend Holmes and Jennifer and Sarah and Satomi-san and Yo-Young and all these people, some of them that aren't even here anymore. It contributes to this welcomeness, this idea that we have this second family, we have this community. And I think when we, as Sunday school teachers, come to the classroom with this intention of wanting to have that family, of having that heart, and of wanting to, be there for this brother or this sister, it makes things so much more easier because they can feel that. Especially kids, they're still, they haven't gone through high school and middle school, and they haven't built these layers of maybe being ashamed or maybe being afraid, or they haven't changed their ego because of some school thing or some reasons. And so to some aspect, they're still their original self. The God in them is still so pure and so innocent. And so it's so important to build these relationships in this community now when they're young, so that they can remember that these LA Family Church relationships can last. I think that's most important, this family-oriented.
Really what do you think is the thing that you've learned the most of teaching younger kids?
Oh, I think, like a lot of people, patience. Sometimes they say things that are a little whoa, it's a little mean, but okay. But at the same time, again, you have to remember that they're still young. And I think it's also a great opportunity for teachers to be humbled and to practice this parental heart, to be an older brother. I'm the youngest, and so I'm used to, really being spoiled and being loved, and I'm the baby, and I'm spoiled like that. But I think one of the greatest things I've learned as a teacher is that, these kids, they really are, like God's child. That's God's child. That's someone else's son or daughter. And for them to be able to have the opportunity to have this community and to learn something new is so precious. Because all my friends, back in high school, they didn't have that. A lot of them didn't have that community. And if these young kids have this chance to learn something about God and to be able to have a chance to build a relationship with God, it's so precious. It's so essential, especially in this day and age. And so for me, I think the biggest lesson is that I can't take it for granted, this chance to be in this community, to give these kids a chance to know God, but also for me to be a mediator, to be able to share some aspect of high school or some aspects of my life of faith to them.
And I know a few years ago you taught through COVID, doing online classes with Teddy and Jennifer and the whole team. And I know you taught the class before too, so did you have a special experience at that time with God or Heavenly Parent guiding you, or did your parents some kind of
special moment? I think I remember preparing for the talk. I was so nervous, and I didn't do that good either. But I remember I was doing a condition for it, a 7-day condition, a prayer condition, and preparing the slides and everything. And the topic was give and take action. It's a very simple concept, but its origin is based on this idea that we're supposed to have relationships, and everybody experiences relationships. And I remember sharing a story when I was in work, and this idea that you have to treat everybody the same. it's a very, almost like elementary school kind of a concept. But I remember, sharing the story. It was like the smallest thing. I barely put any effort into that portion of the talk, but that was the one thing that everybody remembered. Besides all my mistakes and whatnot, they remembered this anecdote of what it's like to serve other people. And I think when you're able to share these personal experiences as a pastor or as a parent or as any person in an able type role, it's important to be able to share your experience. And I think, I think the main lesson for me that I got from that was that no matter how much you practiced, how good you speak or what kind of words you use or how beautiful your slides are, I think when you're able to share an experience, you're able to share some aspect of, what you went through, and share that experience and share that heart that you went through. Maybe share that pain, but also share the lesson behind it. It hits harder. It sticks with them better because they can relate to it. I think that's it.
Is there any message to the parents or the children who might want to join Sunday school in the future?
Well, you have to come. I think, especially for younger kids, you have to get them while you're young, because this, in school, you have friends, but over time you can lose them, whether because you have a different teacher, or they have different schools, or they move. But at LA Family Church, we never move. We're always here together. There's always a community, and that's never going to change. And I think it's so important to be able to build that sense of community, of friendship, of camaraderie with these school students, because they don't get that in school. It's very superficial and it's very academia-based. And it doesn't focus on this internal spiritual and artistic aspect of community, of family. And I think it's so important for kids to be able to experience that at church, in this LA family, where it's safe and you're being taught these principles that, just don't stick with you in high school, but stick with you for the rest of your life. And even after the afterlife, it's eternal. These relationships are eternal. So it's so important to go to Sunday school. It's so important to just come to community. Just to attend Sunday school, attend Sunday service is so good for your spirit. Reverend Young always talks about it. So please come. It's so important. We want you here. We're waiting for you. And we're so happy to be able to just have this opportunity to serve. So yes, please come.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
All right.